Shiva
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sutra-35. Let the Devi reveal the Deva. Madhyanadi Madhyan Sasta Bisasutra Barupaya Dhyatantar Vyomaya Devya Thaya Devaha Prakashate. The sutra says, let the mind dwell on the inner space in the Sushumna Nadi, resembling a slim fiber as in the lotus stem. By the grace of Bhairavi, Bhairava is revealed. This is Anava Upaya. We know by now that Anava Upaya is for the disciple in the initial stages. The body, senses and mind are used in Anava Upaya. Sushumna lies between the Ida and Pingala. It begins in Muladhara and ends in Sahasrara. The Sushumna Nadi is visualized as a thin fiber as in the lotus stem, and the disciple is asked to dwell on the inner space in the Sushumna Nadi. The lotus fiber is the alambana or support for the mind. If you cut open the end of a lotus stem, you will see thin fibers that are long running through the center of the stem. The lotus stem itself is very light and can float in water. It is because they are hollow and spongy. The lightness of the stem is symbolic of Udana Prana. Lotus has a significance in our culture. It is a symbol of human progress to transcend animal nature and bloom fully. A lotus grows in muddy waters and eventually blooms into a beautiful flower. This signifies the journey of the disciple living with desires and attachment and eventually blooming with jnana like a lotus flower. Lord Brahma is visualized as seated on a lotus flower. Brahma is Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic mind. Brahma is also Brahmarandra or the Sahasrara. Brahma dwells in the Satloka. The disciple progresses in the spiritual journey to realize the highest potential in the Sahasrara. The sutra says, let the mind dwell on the inner space in the Sushumna Nadi, resembling a slim fiber as in the lotus stem. By the grace of Bhairavi, Bhairava is revealed. Madhyanadi Madhyan Sasta Bisasutra Barupaya Dhyatantar Vyomaya Devya Thaya Devaha Prakashate. Antar Vyomaya Dhyata. Meditation on the space inside Madhyan Sasta Madhyanadi. The Sushumna Nadi, the middle Nadi, which is in the form Rupaya of Bisasutraba. Bisa is the stalk of stem that is underground. Bisasutraba is the thin fiber in the lotus stem. The fiber in the stem is thin and long. The Sushumna Nadi must be visualized this way. This means that the Sushumna Nadi is very subtle. The steam is subtler than ice, even though both are of the same vastu, the water. Devya Thaya Devaha Prakashate. The divine is revealed by the grace of the Devi. The lotus stem itself is light and can float in water. The lightness of the stem is symbolic of Udana Prana. When the sadhaka's mind dwells on Sushumna, the Udana is activated and the Kundalini rises to the Sahasrara. The region of the Udana Prana is between the Anahata Chakra and Sahasrara. Udana relates to the mind. When the Udana is active, it moves upward and can lift the mind to higher level of consciousness. It creates the lightness like the lotus stem that floats in water. At the time of death of the physical body, the Udana leaves within 12 hours after the prana leaves. The Udana carries the mind or the Sukshma Shariram to another plane of existence based on the person's samskara. Udana is related to Kundalini Shakti. Ordinarily, the prana is active in both the Ida and Pingala Nadi. Ida and Pingala signify duality. Duality means samsara. There is a strong belief that pleasure and pain belongs to the person. The identification with the body and mind is very strong. There is a sense of unfulfillment that always exists in the person. When the prana moves through the Sushumna Nadi, the person experiences a sense of balance in life. As the prana progresses through the Sushumna Nadi, transcending the chakras, the duality starts to disappear. At the Sahasrara, it reaches the peak of transcendence of duality. The Ida and Pingala disappear in the Sushumna. The disciple is established in the oneness. The prana is the Kundalini Shakti. Our path is Sushumna. In the Yajurveda Upanishad, it is said that Sushumna shines like a sun. In its middle is the Kundalini shining like crores of lightning and is as subtle as the fiber in a lotus stem. In this radiance, the tamas is destroyed. The samskaras and vasanas are destroyed. When the disciple meditates on her, she is awakened. Kundalini is Urdhva. Urdhva means upward movement of the energy. Ordinarily, this energy flows through lower centers, resulting in a mundane existence. Eating, sleeping, and procreating becomes the primary goal in life. But when the energy starts moving upward, the disciple experiences Ananda. This Ananda is not related to the outside world. This is happening inside the person. Bhagavan Shiva is known as Urdhva. Urdhva points towards Urdhva, which symbolizes the upward flow of the Retas or the vital energy. Ordinarily for many, the Retas is wasted, flowing through the lower centers. When the vital energy flows upwards, the disciple is led towards the union with the divine. In this sutra, the disciple is led towards the Sahasrara. Urdhva is the state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. In the Thillai Nataraja temple in Chidambaram, Lord Shiva is seen as Urdhva Thandava Murti. There is a beautiful story behind Urdhva Thandava Murti. This is the story of Shiva and Kali. When we see goddess Kali and Shiva separate, it signifies duality. Duality itself is Mithya. The Urdhva Thandava Murti is a beautiful story from the Purana. Lord Shiva wanted Kali to dance along with him in a competition. Whoever loses will leave the Thillai Chidambaram temple. Both Shiva and Kali danced in ecstasy, competing with each other. The Devas and Rishis witnessed their celestial dance. Shiva performed a difficult dance move called Urdhva Thandavam, where he lifted one of his legs vertically to touch the sky. Goddess Kali hesitated to perform this move. Of course, she can perfectly perform this move. Who else can match Shiva's Thandava other than Kali? Kali exhibited shyness typical to the feminine. How can the feminine lift the leg up vertically towards the sky? In this shyness, she merged with Shiva. The duality disappeared. When the Kundalini gracefully rises in the Sushumna, it is Urdhva Thandavam. In this Thandavam, the duality disappears. This story is a perfect summarization of this sutra.